Hi, it's John from Android Addict, and this is a look at the Spigen Neo Hybrid S for the Galaxy Z Fold 3. So the recommended retail price of this case is $74.99. I had to import this from America, so that's in dollars. I guess if it does come out in the UK, it'll be around £60 or so. Let's have a look inside. Let's see what we get. So if you haven't seen my other Spigen reviews, be sure to check out the link in the top right corner. Got reviews for the other Fold 3 cases from Spigen and also the official Samsung cases. So inside the packaging we have our instructions here, so let's have a look. We can see the install instructions. It's telling you to remove the protective film here. And also how to remove the case afterwards. And also some instructions on the nice nifty little kickstand, which will hopefully be quite nice. We have some spare adhesive strips here. So if you've seen my other reviews of the Spigen cases, you may actually well need to keep those safe in case the others come off. Just some packaging card there. So this is the case itself, comes in two pieces, as do most of the Fold 3 cases. So not much to talk about particularly. We've got the Spigen logo here on the bottom. We do have a rather large sort of hinge mechanism here on this, which sticks out a lot more than I was thinking it was going to. So we'll see if that causes any issues at all. So as we can see, the case itself is reasonably thin. It's quite sturdy when bending this way, less sturdy bending that way, but I guess your phone isn't really ever going to bend backwards like that. So yeah, it's quite sturdy. Hard plastic shell, and the front part as well is pretty good. Again, lightweight, quite thin here, but it is all plastic. There's no sort of rubberized feel at all to this. Okay, so let's peel off the strips here and hopefully they all come off okay. And for the front half as well. Okay, brilliant, absolutely no problems at all getting these off. So that's good to know. Let's pop this in the bin. Okay then, so I've cleaned up my Fold 3 here and I'm just going to pop on the case and we'll see how it looks. We can see this is a sticky substance. I've just accidentally put my finger on it here and it has actually made a bit of a mark, but we should be okay. Let's pop the back on first. That's gone on nice and snug, and we'll pop on the front as well. Okay, and this is what your phone will look like in the Neo Hybrid S, and I think overall it actually looks reasonably good. I'm still quite surprised at the size of these sort of hinge pieces at the side here, but we'll have a look at that more closely in a moment. Let's just check all the cutouts, and we can see that it's all actually lined up very well here. The mics are lined up nicely at the top and also at the bottom. We have no issues there, so that's good to see. There's obviously no protection here for the folding hinge itself. We have some decent camera protection here on the back. So as you can see, if you put your phone flat down on a surface, the camera lenses will be protected okay. And on the front of the screen, we also do have a decent layer protecting by a good few millimeters. All the way around, so either way you put your phone down, it will be protected. And if we have a look at the sides as well, we can see we don't have any volume rocker protection here, but actually I think that's probably a good decision for this case, because I think it'll just make it a lot easier for you to find buttons, you know, without having to add extra bulk to the side of your phone. So yeah, overall I think it's a reasonably smart case, to be fair. Looks quite nice. and it's probably one of the best Spigen Fold 3 cases I've used so far. we will test out the stand shortly. We can see a sort of cutout there, which goes into a bit of a cave for the earpiece at least, which isn't the nicest looking, I'd say, but I think you'd stop noticing it after a while, wouldn't you? But yeah, overall, pretty nice, and it doesn't add much bulk to the phone, except for the fact, obviously, you've got these two pieces for the hinge. So to open the stand up, we have, as you can see here, two little notches where you can pop your nail in and pull it open. So let's give that a try now. And then it just pops open like so. Now it'll be interesting to see if we can get any additional angles or whether we just have to have it open fully. But yeah, basically that there is your Neo Hybrid S in full working order. So you could actually have your phone like this with it closed, with the stand open obviously. If you wanted to, you can sit and watch your YouTube videos here. And I don't like this mode particularly because when you zoom in it does cut off quite a bit of the picture. But you can see here the angle of the case is quite nice. It's quite a good viewing angle and one I think most people would be comfortable with. Now you can actually increase or decrease the angle depending on which way you're looking at it here, and it does stay up in, you know, without falling back down. So that is good that you can have multiple angles. Obviously the most convenient angle would probably be the default angle here for most people. So let's open it up and see what it looks like in full screen here. And we can see here with it fully open up that the angle is quite nice. I think you shouldn't have any problems at all with that. Now obviously again we can set a higher angle if we wanted to, but I probably wouldn't trust it as much, especially if you're going to be touching on the screen. You may end up pushing it over if it's too narrow an angle. But yeah, on the default setting I think it's probably going to be fine for most people, to be honest. Now I'd say you probably wouldn't be able to play games on here with it like this, because if you're using the touchscreen you are going to be actually moving the phone when you press it, as there is no grip at all on the bottom here. So really I think they maybe should have added some rubber maybe to this side of the case and maybe this part of the stand. I'm not sure whether they could have just put a tiny bit of rubber on the side here, and then you would have had a more sort of stable surface to press on. You probably could have written on it as well if you'd wanted to. Okay, so as we've got this extra layer of plastic here on the case, I just want to make sure that the wireless charging does still work, as it is a bit thicker than a normal case potentially. So let's bring in the wireless charger here and we'll just check that we do still have wireless charging, which we do, so that's good to see, and it does work nice and quick actually, probably quicker than my Aramid cover from Samsung. I will just check out the reverse wireless charging as well. Okay, so we've got wireless power sharing turned on, so let's just make sure we can still charge devices wirelessly, and it is working absolutely fine. So we're happy that wireless charging is still working okay. So I suppose the other things we need to look at are things like the grip. So there's not a huge amount of grip, in fact there's no grip at all. It's only because my hands are slightly clammy, I guess, that it is gripping on here. But yeah, this is a smooth plastic, so there's not going to be any added grip there. Now when you have the phone open, you do have the added benefit that you've got the screen here, which does add a nice bit of grip, so I can quite happily hold it sideways because my hand is being gripped onto on the glass bit here. But yeah, the case itself on the back and the sides, as we have said previously, is not grippy at all. So just bear that in mind. This case isn't really the sort of tough armor type case where you're going to be throwing it around the place. It is still something you need to be careful with, I'd say. And again, we don't have any protection on the inside of the screen here. As you can see, there's maybe a millimeter protruding from the sides there. But overall, I would not be happy putting my phone face down with the screen open. So the feel of the phone itself, when you have it here and the sort of side hinge pieces, it feels okay. I think you'd probably still be able to play your games without any issues. So with the stand open and holding it, it actually feels not too bad. It feels almost like you're holding a controller because you've got this added support here which your fingers can lie on. So rather than just lying flat on the back, you can actually sort of rest them where your triggers might normally be on a sort of normal gamepad. So that's actually a reasonably nice unexpected feature there, that it does actually make holding the phone a bit easier when you're playing games like this. The only thing I would say is that when you're holding it like this, you could end up sort of putting a bit of a mark in your finger from this corner piece here. If you're over here, you may over time end up getting some sort of blister or something. But yeah, it's not really meant to be used for gaming in that way, but I just thought I'd try it out and see what it's like. So the only last thing I want to try is to see if we can actually stand the phone up in portrait mode, and we can't really. I mean, it does stand up, but it looks a bit stupid really. So I'd only ever use it in horizontal mode. Now that could be a good thing or it could be a bad thing, it really depends what you do. I find, however, a lot of apps are still not optimized for the fold, so portrait mode is my preferred mode personally. Having it in horizontal mode, a lot of apps will open up and force the sort of portrait view, which means you've then got to turn your phone around anyway. So you've got to ensure that when you've got it in this mode, the apps you're using are obviously supported. So I'll just have a quick go around the case again with the stand open so you can have a look and really get an idea as to how it will look on your phone. So it looks pretty nice, I must say. Probably one of the better Spigen cases that I've found for the Fold 3. Now I have got the Thin Fit P coming as well with the S Pen sort of holder built into it, so I have got that on pre-order. So hopefully that will turn up soon. So another thing I want to show you before I forget is that you can still use your gestures if you have any set up. I've got the one-handed mode gestures set up here, and I can still quite easily pull from the left and right of the screen. So even with that additional sort of screen protection there and the lip added to the phone, there's no problems at all with gestures. So the question is, I guess, would I recommend this case to people? And to be honest, I think I probably would, because having come from the Aramid cover, which is very nice and very thin and lightweight, I do find it quite handy to have a built-in stand to my phone. As you can see here, a normal phone stand is okay, but you do get the problem that it's not very stable with such a big phone on top. As you can see, it is quite easy, and I have had it where the phone has fallen out of a stand. Now the way I got around that was to just sort of stick together two normal phone stands and then have them like this, so that I could have a lot more stability at the bottom. But if I've got a built-in stand here anyway, I probably won't need that anymore. So yeah, I'm actually considering using this for a bit and just seeing if I prefer it to the Aramid cover. Like I said, having this stand built in is going to be the main feature. So let me know your thoughts down below on the Neo Hybrid S. Like I said, I'm quite impressed with it. I think it's actually worth the money this time, whereas some of the other Spigen cases for the Fold have not been, in my opinion. But yeah, this one does seem to actually do a lot better than the rest. So be sure to leave a like if you enjoyed this video and subscribe to my channel for additional videos coming soon. Like I said, I've got the Thin Fit P coming, which will have the S Pen support, so we'll go through that and test it out and see how it looks. You can also say thank you by clicking on the join button and becoming a member. And again, if you do have any questions regarding this case, do let me know down below and I'll do my best to answer them. And again, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.